Topek, Kansas, was a quiet town where everyone knew their neighbor, and peace and tranquility prevailed in the air. But one day everything changed. An incident on the outskirts of town shook its residents to the core. Children were playing in the park when suddenly a dog appeared. Previously, he had been the friendly Labrador of Mrs. Green, a neighbor. But this time his eyes glowed with red light, and foam dripped from his mouth. The dog lunged at young Jimmy and his sister Sarah, attempting to bite them. The children managed to escape, but this event left them terrified. The dog was caught and taken to the local veterinarian, but there was something abnormal about his behavior. The next day, local newspapers reported on the mysterious behavior of other domestic animals. Cats, dogs, and even parrots, all of them behaved aggressively and unpredictably. People began to fear leaving their homes, and veterinary clinics were overcrowded. Dr. Matthews, the local veterinarian, tried to find an explanation. But none of the laboratory tests revealed any abnormalities in the animal's health. They were physically healthy, but mentally, they seemed to have become entirely different. Panic began to turn into horror as the first victims appeared. One evening, Mrs. Jackson, an elderly woman known for her kindness and love for cats, was found dead in her home. All the windows and doors were locked from the inside, and around her body stood her beloved cats. Their eyes glowed in the darkness, and their paws were covered in blood. The police were baffled, and even the best detectives couldn't find answers. Other residents of Topek began to lock up their pets or even take them to neighboring towns. But this did not stop the wave of violence. Amidst the chaos engulfing the town, Martha, a young journalist from the local newspaper, began to investigate the story of Mrs. Green and her Labrador. She discovered that Mrs. Green had recently returned from a trip to Tibet, where she visited an ancient temple. There, she received a mysterious amulet, which now hung on the wall of her house. Martha decided to meet with Mrs. Green and learn more about this amulet. She felt a chill down her spine when she saw an ancient stone with carved, incomprehensible symbols. Mrs. Green recounted how she was told in the temple that this amulet protected against evil, but Martha doubted. She felt that this stone brought something dark and terrible to Topek. Martha decided to take the amulet for examination to Professor Anderson, an expert in occultism who taught at a nearby university. Upon seeing the amulet, Professor Anderson recoiled. He told Martha that this stone was connected to an ancient curse that unleashed dark forces capable of seizing the minds of animals and turning them into demons. Meanwhile, the number of attacks in the town was growing. Even those animals that had previously been quiet and friendly were becoming violent. The residents of Topek began to organize for self-defense, but it was in vain. Professor Anderson explained that the amulet must be destroyed in a specific way, otherwise the curse would continue to spread. He described a ritual that had to be performed at the place where the amulet was found. Martha, along with the professor and a group of local volunteers, set off for Tibet. The journey was perilous, but they were determined to stop the horror that had engulfed their town. They reached the temple and performed the ritual. The amulet was destroyed, and it seemed that the darkness had receded. Upon returning to Topek, Martha noticed that the animals began to behave calmer. The horrific attacks ceased, and life in the town began to return to normal. People breathed a sigh of relief, but the fear remained in their hearts. Martha continued her journalistic work, but she never forgot about that incident. She knew that the world was full of secrets and dangers we couldn't even imagine. And although the evil was destroyed, the shadow of the curse always remained somewhere in the depths of her consciousness. One evening, several months after those terrible events, Martha was sitting in her office, reviewing old records. Suddenly, she noticed something strange in the photographs from the temple. In one of them, there was another amulet, similar to the one they destroyed. Before Martha could do anything, her phone rang. It was Professor Anderson. His voice trembled with horror. "Martha, we made a mistake. The amulet was only part of the curse. The true evil has not been stopped." Meanwhile, in Topek, the animals began to behave strangely again. And this time, they seemed even more aggressive than before. Martha realized that their battle was far from over. The curse was stronger than they could have imagined. She knew that another journey lay ahead, another struggle with the darkness that threatened their world. And this time, she was ready to face the evil head-on. Topek, once a quiet town in the heart of Kansas, now became a battleground between light and darkness. And while the townsfolk hoped for a better future, they knew that the darkness would always be nearby, ready to seize their world again.